6. Ladies and gentlemen, mi dame, monsieur, meine Damen und Herren, señores y señoras, welcome back. It is Shakura's Plateau time. We are in round number 6. Is it really round number 6? I already forgot it. Yes, indeed, it is round number 6, and we have Zocke playing against Gnome, and the winner of those two guys will play against the winner of Jew against Maro. So we got a PVT here, and we got a ZVZ in this another game in round number 6. So the winner of this game and the winner of Jew against Maro will play for the last slot in the quarterfinals of tonight's Craft Cup number 28, and of course the winner will take home $50 and a slot in the King of the Month $500 tournament here of Craft Cup. And we have some bad issues with the leg, and Nick is lagging, and looks like he will leave the game. There he is leaving. And so we got the gnome spawning in the top right. We got Zocke spawning in the top left PVT. Of course, in this close positions, I'm talking close positions because they're spawning next to each other. Close positions on Shakura's Plateau, of course, allows the Terran player to go for some weird timing push with the Banshees, with the Raven, Siege Tanks and Marines. Just set up some Siege Tanks here in this area, and there's not much stuff a Protoss player can do about it. Of course, you can go for some early rushing, but early rushing on Shakura's Plateau involves quite a lot of risks. I mean, not that much for a Protoss player because of his ability to warp in stuff. But if this rush fails, you're pretty much dead already because Shakura's Plateau is so huge that it allows your opponent to just macro up too much, expand too much. So I'm really curious where this is going. And I mean, Soccer, of course, is the favorite to win this. He was playing at IEM, he's playing at MLG, he's performing really, really well on the ladder. And every time I see him playing, he is just playing really, really, really good. He spotted this barracks. He sees, okay, this barracks was not lifted up. No add-on there just yet. Probe is still running around Gnome, already going for his second refinery, and this is really interesting. Does he really want to go for some sort of one base push, a really powerful one? So supply depot number 2 is being built. He's moving out with his probe. Meanwhile, what is Soccer doing? His cybernetics core will be finished in about 40 seconds, and this is what I not like. I mean, I can understand this unit position and building positioning here because it secures the mineral line from some Hellions or for some Reapers, and because Reapers, especially if you're spawning next to each other, are really, really good in PvT because you just can jump off the cliff here, jump on the cliff here, and poof, you're already in the base of your opponent and you can wonderfully scout him out. But fortunately enough for Zocke, Gnome is not going for this. He's building a reactor instead of a tech lab on this barracks, and he's building the factory right away. So looks like he wants to reactor out some marines there, and then go for some sort of starport play because he's going for the bunker right now, and bunker always, most of the times, not always, indicates some sort of tech. And yes, indeed, we see the starport here, so we should soon see a tech lab on the factory as soon as this Hellion is finished. Meanwhile, what is Zocke doing? His second gate just finished. No Stargate, no Robo, no nothing just yet. A nice pylon placement here. It allows him to hide some buildings over there. A Stalker is already out and looks like he is raiding. He's getting some more minerals. He wants to go for the expansion here at the natural position. So you get 2 more Stalkers in production out of those 2 gates. So a 2 gate into expand. It's not 1 gate expand. It's not 3 gate expand. It's the 2 gate expand by Zocke. And there we see the tech lab, even though he decided Gnome decided to not build the tech lab right away, but instead he's just started with a Viking already. So I'm really curious why he's going for the fast Viking. I mean, I can understand this as a Terran player in a TVT. I can understand this in a Terran player as a Terran player in a TVZ, but not in a TVP. Miss Micro here with the Hellion as well was a little bit trying to do too much cutesy stuff there. He lost it right away, and we got a little more leg spikes. Once again, let me check, do I have any programs running? No, I do not. The lobby is currently full, and this really is I'm feeling ashamed of the leg right now, because last Friday, not last Friday, Friday 2 or 3 weeks ago, when I was casting a lot of games where every stream I had some problems, I was the one who was lagging as well, and me lagging as well was not that good, because I had to leave the game, and every time I'm in the game and aTnSocke is in the game, I have sort of lag, and this is what I really don't like. So gateway units here at the front trying to do some damage, so they took out the bunker, but the siege tank is doing a brilliant job at applying more damage, and Gnome, with having his 5 SCVs, they're constantly repairing stuff. He did a good job at defending, in the end, this Viking was worth it after all, because a landed Viking, even though not doing that much damage, I mean 12 damage every second is not that much, even though it's better than nothing. This Viking in the end got a kill, so why not? Helping out defending this small push here by aTnSocke. He's on 3 gates at the moment, now getting his robo facility, and with a robo, because he saw the tank, he might be going for some immortal play, some observer play, now going for the forge as well, so he wants not to fall too much behind in terms of upgrades. And he saw that Gnome still was on 1 base, even though he's finished with his command center. He's currently transforming it to the orbital command, which will land it here, which will be landed here at the natural expansion. He got an supply depot next to the backdoor rock, so you know when aTnSocke might be going for an attack. He's got a Banshee out, and the Banshee does not have cloak. He's not researching cloak, but instead he's researching the infernal pre-igniter right now. So some Banshee play followed up by some blue flame Hellions, and what is aTnSocke doing? Where does he have his stalkers? So there we see 2 stalkers being moving in, and there we have 3 more stalkers being warped in. So Banshee did 5 kills, still 100 HP left, and now this Banshee might be going here for the natural, because there are currently no units, but the pilot spotted the Banshee, so this stalker is already in position, and Stalker was able to get 2 shots off before the Banshee was able to get some shots off, so the Stalker alone will even be able to kill the Banshee. So what about the Infernal Pre-Igniter? It will be finished in 15 seconds, queued up the siege mode right away. He is producing more Hellions. How many Hellions does he have in total? Looks like not any at all, so actually this will be the first Hellion he's producing. He's going for the Raven right now. Of course, the Raven is one of the best units in a TVP, especially in the early game, or in the early stages of the mid game, if you want to go for some push, timing push out of 1 base especially. But Gnome is not doing that, because yeah, he's got his expansion up, he's producing more SCVs, he does not want to fall too far behind in terms of economy, even though he most likely is already, and yes indeed he is. He's behind 18 workers, so aTnSocke with a constant pro production doing a really good job, and his intentions are not at all to move out. He wants to just secure his main base, take up, and there we see, for example, the first Colossus is en route. He's got the +1 being finished in about 40 seconds, minus chrono boost of course. Thermal lens should be started very soon. Meanwhile, we see once again the Banshee in here doing some damage, and the Banshee now at 7 kills, and the Banshee only's got a 50 HP left, so I think it's time for the Banshee to move to the old main base here of Gnome, and get some repairs done. Meanwhile, aTnSocke is not only going for another expansion here at the 8 o'clock, he is also going for the Observer, and it is not his first Observer. The more observers you have, the more you can observe. Actually, because of the cheap price of the Observer, 25 minutes, 75 gas, it's practically free. you can get quite a lot of those out. And there we see, interestingly enough, he's not purely going for the Colossi, he's adding more Immortals in the mix. Of course, he needs to watch out for Ghosts. And speaking of Ghosts, there we see the Ghost Academy is currently built by Gnome. He's not only building a Ghost Academy, he's also going for the Armory. So he wants to not fall behind in terms of tech and in terms of uh, upgrades. We just saw this Medivac here flying away. The Medivac had some Hellions in it. It just saw some debris here on the field. Let's take a look. How much damage did he do? And he did do quite a lot of damage. Zocke was at 66 Harvester. He was down to 55 Harvester, so 11 probes kills at least is quite a lot. Now going for the engineering bay to, of course, have the availability of going for some missile turrets, and of course going for some marinas and marauders upgrades. He's got a quite nice. He even dropped a point defense drone here. I mean, point defense drone lasts 3 minutes. It's quite a long time. And it's better to have a point defense drone deployed in a position where your opponent might possibly attack you if you have the 200 energy already. But Gnome did not have the 200 energy, so I'm not really sure why he deployed the point defense drone. Maybe it was a misclick, but judging by the placement of this point defense drone, it does not look like it right now. So yeah, about that. So we see this Nexus is up and running here for Zocke. We got this Stalker here patrolling what's going on the high ground, etc. But at least in my opinion, you should watch out there. And we got another Blue Flame Hellion Medivac flying in. Zocke is just getting more gateways, 2 more gateways, for example, here at the 8 o'clock. The Hellions have just been dropped, and now I'm really curious how much damage he will be able to do this time. So Zocke is now at 71 Harvesters. Here are the Hellions, and there are the first probes already dying, but the micro of the Hellions is not the best, even though a lot of probes died and he was at 71 Hellions. Let's wait just another 2 seconds, and now he's back down to 62 Harvesters. So with this constant Blue Flame Hellion harassment, he was Gnome was able to not fall too far behind, even though he's still on 2 bases. But he's got his command center finished. He's flying over here to the center location, and of course the center location for a Terran player is much easier to defend than, for example, as a Zerg or a Protoss player, because he can not only build a planetary fortress in a TVP or in a TVZ, he does not have to fear the siege tanks. The only thing he needs to watch out for is some Colossi here on the high ground. And we see, for example, this Zealot was patrolling a little bit. There we see the mule landing here at the mineral line. And I mean, Zocke is just playing safe. He is defending, and by the way, he needs to move his Medivac back. He is defending all the attacks, meanwhile he is macroing up more and more. He's not going for an attack because he doesn't need to, he's not feeling safe. A nice tank placement here, by the way, by Gnome. And those tanks are already attacking, even though they're only attacking the Immortals. But nice blink here by Zocke, and a nice EMP with the Ghost as well, but only having some Hellions attacking the Stalkers is not what you want to go for. And actually, Gnome is having quite a lot of Hellions still left, and all those Hellions you could be able to do quite some damage to the Zealots here, but they will die too fast, so fast to the Stalkers and Colossi. A nice blink here back by Gnome, and Gnome really needs to watch out, because this planetary fortress, this base here being under siege, can do quite a lot of damage. Even though the Colossi cannot move over there, they have to take the long way. It's still quite some damage they will be able to do with a thermal lance with a range 9. Nice deployment this time by the point defense drone. This point defense drone really worth it. How about the energy on the Raven? The Raven got not enough energy for another point defense drone. This Medivac just spotted the assimilator, because Zocke is going here on the bottom left main base for just another expansion, so he will be on 4 bases in total.